Good afternoon, I'm Charles Lejano. This is One News Now. The government will no longer declare a ceasefire with communist rebels, at least under President Duterte's term. The pronouncement did not come as a surprise, though, to the Communist Party of the Philippines. Pat Manguna tells us why.
President Duterte says there will no longer be a ceasefire ever again with communist rebels under his term. This means peace talks between the government and the National Democratic Front will likewise not prosper anymore, according to the chief executive.
For all intents and purposes, yung ceasefire is dead. Wala na yun. Matagal na yun.
The pronouncement comes after the armed forces of the Philippines recommended to the president not to declare a holiday ceasefire with the Reds. The AFP welcomes the move, saying that the NPA has been notoriously insincere and unworthy of public trust. The PNP also supports the decision of President Duterte. They vowed to continue guarding the public against communist rebels this holiday season.
We are just on the defense mode, di ba? Pero kung wala, tuloy po yung mga operations natin. Tuloy po yung deployment natin sa iba't ibang areas na identified na saan nakatago po yung mga armado, no, ng mga NPA.
The president's latest declaration did not come as a shock to the Communist Party of the Philippines. In a statement, the CPP insists the move only proves that Duterte and his generals only want to prolong the war to gain money. The group adds that Duterte and his peers are just fooling themselves for believing that they can crush the revolutionary armed struggle before his term ends. For News 5, Patricia Mangune, we are One News.
President Duterte has ordered the Health Department to study the possibility of conducting free swab tests. In his pre-recorded speech, Duterte called on DOH Secretary Francisco Duque III to look at the cost. The chief executive said he wants public health facilities to provide free testing by the second quarter of 2021.
Alam mo, ang importante pala, sa totoo lang, na-realize now, it's the testing, yung swabbing, pati yung test. Kasi mahal, I'm trying to figure out a cheaper way of doing it.
Duterte also appealed to owners of local accommodation establishments to offer their premises as quarantine facilities. The president asked local government units to tap hotels and inns in their areas to house COVID-19 patients.
Arrange with the hotels na pwede mo munang gamitin, lalo na sa panahon na ito. I will assume the full responsibility of paying you pagdating ng panahon.
NLEX management vows to improve its RFID installation process, which has been causing heavy traffic in the past weeks. The Valenzuela LGU says it will lift the suspension of the company's business permit once it complies with their order. Let's get the latest on this from Gerard de la Peña. He's reporting to us live along NLEX Mindanao Avenue. Gerard, what does management of the expressway have to say?
Well, Charles, NLEX toll plazas in Valenzuela are still not charging motorists as of this time. Well, the embattled company is hoping that they could resume operations soon after they have laid out their plans to the local government of Valenzuela.
Gone are the long lines of vehicles at the Mindanao Toll Plaza of the North Luzon Expressway. Motorists may now pass through the toll plazas in Mindanao Avenue, Paso de Blas, and Karuhatan in Valenzuela free of charge after the Valenzuela LGU on Monday suspended the toll operator's business permit. A fuming Mayor Rex Gatchalian cited the traffic jams in the area caused by vehicles scrambling to claim their RFID stickers in the past weeks. In response, the NLEX management acknowledged its shortcomings and has presented plans to improve the gridlock. The operator will move the RFID sticker installation and reloading away from the toll gates in Valenzuela. It is also looking at putting up more reloading sites and allowing motorists to top up through their mobile phones. For better readability of stickers, NLEX plans to install additional RFID antenna and sensors at toll gates. It will also redesign the Karuhatan Toll Plaza to accommodate more vehicles in the long run.
That was really a terrible situation that our customers had to endure. So we did that apology to the motorists, especially the constituents of Valenzuela City.
Gatchalian says the suspension will be lifted as soon as the company meets the conditions that they have set.
Ang sa akin lang, ayusin nila yan. Kung inayos nila bukas, di malilift natin bukas. Kung patatagalin nila, tatagal rin yung lifting. We need a long-term, permanent solution dahil pang matagalan na tong new normal na setup.
The Transportation Department has not responded on the matter. But for private groups, it is best for the DOTr to defer the mandatory implementation of cashless toll transactions.
The buck stops with DOTr. The buck stops with Secretary Tongade. Kasi po, the entire idea was originated from them ng August 2020. Imagine yung magnitude po ng 2 buwan na paghahanda. Ikumpara ho natin sa 36 months na paghahanda doon po sa full transition.
Charles, the NLEX management will have a meeting tomorrow with Mayor Gatchalian, and they are hoping that they can finally come up with a midpoint on this matter. Charles.
Thanks for that, Gerard. That was Gerard de la Peña reporting live from Quezon City. A think tank blames the Transportation Department for its abrupt decision to make toll transactions cashless, resulting in the RFID mess. InfoWatch PH convener Terry Redon tells the chiefs that the DOTr should own up to the heavy traffic at toll booths. He says their deadline, which has been extended from November to January, shows how ill-advised the decision was.
Yung pong 2 buwan, 3 buwan, to do this entire thing, parang hindi ko talaga ubra. And we have seen it na nga. In fact, yung sa pinulang paggamit ng QR codes, no, para magbayad. I don't think that has also been raised previously. Kasi kung ayaw nila ng cash, baka naman ho pwede na ho yung mga payment mechanisms na ginagamit na ho natin ngayon.
We'll be back with more stories after a quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The country's COVID-19 caseload climbs to above 442,000 after 1,400 new infections were reported. Latest data from the Health Department shows that some 25,000 cases remain active. Of that number, nearly 85%, or more than 20,000, are considered mild. The virus claimed the lives of 98 more patients over the past 24 hours, pushing the death toll to over 8,600. On the other hand, some 408,000 have gotten better, with an additional 139 recoveries reported for today. Health Secretary Francisco Duque III is asking the public to avoid activities with a higher risk of virus transmission during the holidays. Instead of using karaoke machines to sing, which produces high viral load, Duque suggests playing songs on different music platforms instead. President Duterte has apologized for restrictions on parties, gatherings, and other traditions during the Christmas season. As for the new year, firecrackers are still allowed for the time being until mid-2021, as Duterte plans to implement the total ban.
Baka next December, ibawal ko na ang putok because it is really a dangerous thing and for reasons of public safety and health.
The United Kingdom has started its mass vaccination program after receiving the first batch of doses from Pfizer. This comes less than a week after Britain approved for emergency use the vaccines being developed by Pfizer and BioNTech. Some 800,000 shots are expected to arrive this week, as health workers and residents in care homes will be prioritized. Despite these developments, the World Health Organization does not see mandatory vaccinations across the globe to curb the spread of COVID-19. The WHO says information campaigns, as well as prioritizing the immunization of certain sectors like health workers, will be more effective. Shape up or ship out was President Duterte's warning to telcos months ago due to piling up of complaints on slow internet connections. Let's check in on their progress from this report by Mean Los Baños.
The National Telecommunications Commission and telco firms held a briefing on the status of internet in the country. NTC Commissioner Gamaliel Cordoba admits that telcos are having a hard time coping with the demand of consumers. Cordoba notes that the demand increased to as much as 500% at the start of the COVID-19 pandemic. But at the same time, many employees of internet providers have been forced to work from home due to restrictions.
Nahirapan po ang ating mga telcos na magpalabas ng tao dahil po rin sa mga lockdowns, So, doon po siguro naramdaman ng ating Pangulo na medyo sumama ang ang service po ng telecommunications.
Tech firms meanwhile report that efforts have so far been made to improve their internet connection. PLDT Smart for One is given free upgrades and speed boosts to their customers as they continue to enhance their fiber optic network.
I also want to highlight that we have the biggest fiber optic network po sa bansa. To help support the economic recovery, we had packages of work at home and study at home kasi alam po natin na everybody was already at home working and studying, and also e-commerce.
Globe Telecom, for its part, has hastened the release of permits to cell sites and towers after Duterte called for faster transactions.
Sa permits 1,857 permits from July to November lang ho. This is a record for us. Karamihan ho ng LGU ay tumutulong na rin. Marami ho. Talagang ilang araw lang nire-release ng permit.
The NTC notes that fixed broadband and mobile internet speed have increased to 28 and 18 Mbps respectively from just 7 Mbps last July. Despite the improvements, Palace spokesman Harry Roque says the country is still far behind its Asian neighbors in terms of internet speed.
Ninanais din po ng ating mga kababayan yung ninanais ng Globe at saka ng Smart na maging world class. At tapatan lang po tayo at number 34 in Asia, I don't think we are world class.
Cordoba says the Information and Technology Department will continue to improve the services under the National Broadband Project. He adds that the agency has started betting on the third telco that hopefully will change the game.
Internally, we are going for 90% within 5 years. So those areas that have no mobile coverage, DOTr will serve those areas.
The company is confident that the Congress will grant them a franchise by the first quarter of 2021. Reporting for News 5, Mean Los Baños, we are One News.
Business owners are taking advantage of the influx of online shoppers this holiday season. As for those who still prefer going to physical stores, the health department has a reminder. JC Cosico with the story.
More and more Filipinos are going online for Christmas shopping with the COVID-19 pandemic still around. Vlogger and online shop owner Ivan Vivero says they no longer need to advertise their products due to the influx of orders.
Nag-post kami ng bago naming item. Wala pang 1 hour, marami na talagang nagme-message, nagtandaan, at sobrang dami.
Online shopper Cheska Ronario has started wrapping Christmas presents for her friends and relatives. Aside from the convenience, she says ordering gifts online is safer.
Once na dumating yung parcel mo, yung items mo, what I have to do is sprayan lang siya ng alcohol. Yung risk na makakuha ka ng virus is sobrang liit.
An expert explains how the pandemic has changed the gift-giving tradition in the country.
Consumers are realizing that they have other options apart from shopping in store. So consumers are also exploring shopping online.
Despite the health department's call for the public to shop online, some still prefer to go in shopping districts like in Baclaran. However, physical distancing and the proper wearing of face shields are sometimes forgotten by shoppers.
Kasi makikita mo maganda sa picture pero pag nakita mo sa personal hindi. Okay. Yun, at saka minsan mali pa yung i-deliver, mali naman.
With this, the public is urged not just to spend wisely, but to shop safely. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. And you can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We are One News.